Hello and welcome, and as promised, here's the new series, Silent Hunter 3. We're starting in 1940, October 1st, during the happy time. Our U-boat is a 7B U-34. Torpedoes are looking okay. And side emblem, yeah, we'll do the laughing sawfish, because I love it so much. There it is. No, select it. There we go. Not much in the way of equipment upgrades we can do, so we can probably just get started pretty much right away. We are going to AM41. We still have news for 1939 for some reason. I don't know why. I think that's a bug somewhere. But I will see you once this has... Just one thing I thought I'd point out for the news for 1939. I don't have a mouse cursor right now, but if you look at the bottom, it says, oh, Polish troops reportedly stage an attack on radio station at That was a thing that was staged by, I believe it was staged by the Gestapo, but it was staged by the Germans to make it look like the Polish attacked them first, basically. But word never really actually got around about it for some reason. So, yeah. So we are with the 7th Flotilla, based in Saint Nazaire. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I'm not going to try. And our designated patrol grid is AM41. So, okay, so that's up by in the western approaches. So, let's head up there, shall we? 41, right there. Up by Rockall Bank. Lots of convoys tended to come out this way from Liverpool, mostly. Yeah, and as you can see on this map, I can't move my cursor over to it, but there are convoy routes running through there. Yeah. I will come back in a bit once it's daylight, so I can tell you about the mods. Alright, now that it is broad daylight and you can clearly see what's going on, I should tell you about some of the mods. The first one, and this is a pretty obvious one, is GWX 3.0, that is the Grey Wolves. It just makes everything better, just everything, including the boat, which is quite lovely. I don't like what the trailing edge of this conning tower looks like and how it comes back inwards, sort of. I don't think that's particularly pretty, but I'm just kind of picky about the boat now. So there's our laughing sawfish, because it's a sawfish that can laugh. Also, we have a net cutter, which was removed from most of the boats later. The other big fat mod is OLC something, I think it's OLC Gold Mark II, which gives you this fancy interface. And also in the attack periscope, it gives you these spinny wheelie things. I know that Tailmain uses this mod as well, and I like it quite a lot, although the one he uses, I think it's an older version that's a little bit different. But I've only just recently been able to figure out how to use this, so... yeah! Let's have a look at the crew. We just have the standard crew. I didn't change anything. I probably could have, but I didn't, so... yeah, I think that's about all I can think of to tell you right now. I will keep you informed of further developments and let you know, cut to something interesting happening. Okay, so here's an interesting development. We have spotted some ships. And they are neutral, because they're all lit up. So we are just going to pass them by. Yeah. Ah, we've just received a radio message. Let's see what it says. Sunk ship collided with wreck. Sustained damage to bow. What a knob. So we're just a little ways southwest of Ireland. And look how crappy the weather is. I don't think we'd even be able to see anything in this. And even if we did, I don't know if we'd be able to attack it particularly effectively. So let's carry on. I hope that that was sufficient amusement to compensate for the fact that we're approaching our patrol area and so far absolutely nothing has happened. And if anything does, you'll be the first to know. Well, actually I will, and then I will tell you. On the lighter side, we still haven't found anything, but the weather seems to be improving, so if we do come across any contacts, at least we will see them. Alright, my pretties, here's the cheese. We have completed our obligations in AM41, and now we are heading to AM51 because the internet has informed me that it's something of a hot zone most of the time, and that one can expect to encounter a decent amount of shipping here. And we can pretty much do whatever we want. We still have tons of fuel and all our torpedoes, so yeah, I'll see you there. Gasp! A radio message. What does it say? Convoy AL6233, course east 7 knots. Where did you say? 6233. Okay, so 6233, that's gonna be about, let's see, that'll be, that's gonna be right around there. Course east at 7 knots. So let's just see, at 7 knots in 7 knots in 10 hours they can go 129. I'm probably not going to be able to intercept this, but I'm just sort of curious. And you know, we might encounter it going in on the western approaches here, so I'll just, if we get any further radio messages about it, then I'll definitely keep an eye on it, because if we can intercept that convoy, that would be a lovely diversion from the everyday. And plot thickens. Attacked by British T-class submarine Navsku BF-53. Oh, navigation square. Gah. Fired 4 torpedoes, all missed. British sub began to fire gun, crash dive, followed up with some explosive charges. No result. Advise escorts. Well, interesting, that's from U-31 to us. Some more news for you guys. It looks like the convoy has moved. It's going in this way. I don't think we're going to be able to intercept it, because that information's pretty old and it's still, well, it's not really that far away, but actually, if it's heading south-southeast, it'll go... Maybe. We're just gonna... I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a peek over here, and we're going to patrol this area just in case it decides to turn up. And also we have a radio message saying convoy AL bleh. Okay, so that's no, that's gotta be a different one. Anyway, I'll let you know if anything happens. Guess what, folks? We have sighted a Merchie. It is bearing 280 long range, or yeah, 280.
Schiff gesichtet, Lage 280, große Entfernung.
You know what? Let's look in this thing. 280A. I don't see it, guys. Still a head full.
Volle Fahrt voraus.
And let's go this way, south. See if we can find it. Let's bump up time compression. There we go. Ooh, is that a different one? Ooh, there's a merchant. Looks like it's the only one of its kind.
Schiff gesichtet, Lage 0, große Entfernung.
Where's it heading? Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, there we go. Bearing 021. Alright, let's turn so that we move alongside it. I don't think she'll spot us. There she is. But that looks like a... it might be... it's either a large merchant or it might be something smaller. But let's sail alongside her and... give me a new bearing. Bearing 095. There she is. Is she turning? Nope. Range 3,700 meters, so we're actually quite close. If we could somehow manage to get ahead of her, then we could probably do pretty good here. Yeah. Let's just have a look. I'm a bit of a cheater, I'll say it now. I'm a cheater, and a pumpkin eater. Oh no, that's just a piddly little thing. But it does have guns, so I don't think we're going to try to engage it with artillery, per se. And we should dive because we are so close. And we won't be invisible. The sea's kind of awful, isn't it? Yeah, we're really rocking back and forth. This is a good one. Slow. Let's get that observation scope. Where did you go? Higher. Where did you go, sir? I need to find you. Where did the merchant go? Tell me, what's the nearest contact? No sound contact? Silly, silly. Normal sweep. Well, don't you hear something? Let me have a listen, shall we? Oh, there it is. Bearing 067.
Große Fahrt voraus.
065-ish. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, pfft. There she is. Pardon me, folks. I'm just inept. Alright, I'll stop. From the angle of the smoke coming out of her stack, I'd say she's maybe doing about 5 knots, maybe 6. And let's bring up the attack scope and all of the necessary stuff that comes with it, with this fancy apparatus here. There she is. She's kind of far away, but I'm not too worried about that. Let's just bring her up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That'll get us slightly better vision. Let's see if we can identify it. It looked like it was probably a tramp steamer. But there's no problem in knowing, because there's a bunch of those small-ish ships that are similar in many respects. Tramp steamer, that looks about right, although it seems like it might have... You know what, I'm gonna cheat is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to be a horrible, awful cheat. And have another look. Because I kind of want to see what it is anyway. Oh, tramp steamer, 100%. Yeah. That's what she is. Okay. Waterline's about there. So her mast height is 23.2. So what we need to do is count the number of vertical marks up to the top of the mast. It looks like it's gonna be maybe a little over 1.5. And then we go to that height, 23.2, and that'll give us the range. So just a hair over 3,000 meters. Well, actually, closer to 3,500 meters. 3,500 meters. Alright, and then we bring that range up to the ship length on the outer dial, which is 78.5 meters, and count the number of horizontal marks. In this case it's 1, 2, 3, which gives us a bow angle of 35 degrees. And I'll believe that. And I think some background process is drowning my frame rate, so I'm going to investigate and return momentarily. Alright, now here's the fun part. We need to count the number of seconds it takes for it to cross our reticle to get the speed. So, let's do that. And the frame rate's still awful, I'll check into that later. Yeah. Okay, and there it is. So about 21 seconds. Alright, I'm back. The problem seems to have subsided. So that was 21 seconds. So we take 21 seconds, line it up with the ship length, and we get the speed. I don't know where the speed's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be here, which makes sense, because that would give us 5 knots, which I think is pretty much right on the nose for that. So, yeah. Another way we can check that the AOB is roughly correct is if we move the periscope down to 0, it should be right around 90 if we're relatively square with the ship, which we more or less are. So now we're just waiting for the optimum gyro angle, really, which is going to be coming around when our periscope is when it's bearing from us is about 10 degrees. So let's set up our torpedoes. It's a pretty long shot, so the faster our torpedoes are, the less of a chance it'll be a miss. So I'll use both of these type 2s in tubes 2 and 3. We'll be doing high speed with impact pistols. And 4 meters is fine for the depth. And I will come back when we're ready to take the shot. I've found the source of the frame rate problems. It's my antivirus. It's a bit of a pig and it likes to scan everything and it uses a lot of processing power. So not much we can do about it, but we're back up to 60 frames per second, and I don't think it's going to continue to be a problem because no frame rates in this game are utterly unacceptable, even with all these mods. It's a 2005 game. But anyway, bearing, let's see, let's just wait for that gyro angle to come right down. Wait a minute. I think something's gone horribly wrong. Because that bow angle doesn't look like it could possibly be right. Okay, the frame rate's tanking again, like my computer's about to do something. But I don't think it is. One moment, I will investigate again. Wait a minute. Oh, that puts me in a moral spot. That's a Canadian ship. Alright, gyro angle is still coming down, and I think the bow angle is still reasonably correct. It should be at about 60 right now. Yeah. So I think we should stand by to fire. Let's just double check our solution. It's looking good. Actually, let's get a new range. Let's see, so that's up to about almost 2 marks. And mast height, yeah, so that puts it about here now. So that's good. That's a little update to the range. And speed was at 5 knots. We're gonna do a bit of a spread with this, so let's actually get ready to fire. So tube 2 is open. Fire. Fire, I said.
Los.
And fire.
Rohr 3. Los.
And down with the scope. 7 frames per second. Seriously, something terrible is happening. I'll investigate before the next one, because this should not be
Rohr 3
happening.
wird nachgeladen, Herr
Yeah,
Kapitän.
I know.
Wir warten auf das grüne Licht.
Oh, shut up, you sound like Hitler. It looks like bits of our conning tower are occasionally sticking up out of the water, but that's interesting all on its own. Let's actually follow those torpedoes. Would have gone kinda this way, maybe? Crap. I may not be able to find them now. Because I know the gyro angle was kinda over here. Perfect. I don't know, I think those are gonna run astern. Yep, and oh, I think they've seen them, is what has unfortunately happened here. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that's running astern. Oh, but number 1, no. They saw it. Should have used type 2, and I should have been closer, and everything went horribly wrong. But because it has guns, I'm not going to try to engage it on the surface with artillery, so we're just gonna duck this, unfortunately.